Hi everyone, it's Dan here, and today we are taking a look at the Manfrotto PixiePod. And why we here at Phase Drive absolutely love this little thing. Let's get into it. So by now, it's probably no surprise that us here at Phase Drive really like Manfrotto. We use their tripods, their bags. I have a monopod and a phone mount from them, and a few other things we have lying around, but also the PixiePod. Now, while I will be calling this the PixiePod just out of habit, it's actually just called the Pixie in all caps, Pixie. But there is also an upgraded version called the Pixie Evo, which we'll get into later on. So first things first, why do we like it? Well, I mean, look at it. It's tiny, there's nothing to it, it's a really simple, sleek design, and it fits in basically anything. You can put it in your back pocket, in a camera bag, and it'll always be there when you need it. It's really stable, really easy to use, and it just looks nice. It's a really stable little mini tripod you can basically take anywhere because of how teeny weeny tiny it is. Look at this, I mean, it's so small! So what do we use it for? Well, I mainly use it as a monitor when I'm recording these, so I can stick my phone on it, my phone clamp, and hold it at a really nice angle with the ball joint head. And I know it's not going to go anywhere because this thing is stable as a rock on a flat surface. But we also use it commercially to hold fill lights, to get low angle shots with something like a GH5 because it's perfectly stable enough to hold something like that. You can also put mics and stuff on it to record low angles or off to the side if you've got somewhere to mount it. It's just useful for mounting various little things on if you haven't got enough room for a tripod, basically. Science! Now for me personally, this fits my kind of style better because I know a lot of vloggers and people who do the whole YouTube thing and cameras and stuff have a real thing for gorilla pods, and I understand why, because you can use it, you can tie it to a roof beam or something. That's cool and everything, but I've always thought they were a bit kind of ugly to look at. They're a bit and they're quite chunky. They don't seem like they're very well designed for kind of holding and waving around, because they just seem a bit Whereas this, it's almost like the feet are ergonomically designed to just kind of sit in your hand and be like, hey, hold me. But it feels good in the hand, whereas I don't feel like a GorillaPod has ever felt good in anyone's hand, let's be honest, unless you've got massive like Hulk hands. I'm, however, really hoping to try out the SwitchPod at some point, but it's only in US and Canada at the moment, I believe, so hopefully at some point it'll come to the UK and I can give us that flicky, switchy goodness a go and see if it compares to the PixiePod. But Sam and Neil wanted to give their opinions on it too, so...
This is the Pixie Evo, which is the big brother to the little Pixie, which we also use. It has a few features which I find useful because my main camera is a D810, on D810, slightly bigger than the GH5. It's got these little extendable legs to give you a bit more kind of spread. Also got this lovely little button here which allows you to fold the legs all the way up to they're almost flat out. So when I've got the D810 with the 70-200 lens and the battery grip, I can splay it right out like that and it'll hold it. Unlike the little Pixie, the mini Pixie, it's got a thumb wheel adjuster for the tension. Also got this lovely little Joby phone holder on it, which I use for when I'm using my phone. It's got this adjustable clamp, and it also has the little kind of portrait landscape twist as well, which I quite like, which is what I mainly use it for, just recording stuff on the phone. But yeah, good little bit of kit and a worthy upgrade to the standard Pixie if you need something a little bit bigger, if you're operating with a bigger camera than the GH5. Recommended.
That was weird. But now it's over to Sam to see what he has to say about his PixiePod.
So this is what I think of it, and this is my review, I suppose, within the review of this the Manfrotto Pixie standard thing. So I've always found good use for these sort of mini tripods, but I always tended to have these kind of cheap little unbranded ones. You've probably seen this kind of design before. It's functional, but the problem is that it doesn't really take much more weight than sort of a GoPro. I could probably put the GoPro on here, it'd be alright, but my GH5 or kind of mirrorless or DSLR stuff, I always really struggle with this. However, we got hold of these when we started the business, and I didn't think I was going to need it very much, but actually it has come in so useful on so many different occasions for so many different things. So the first one is vlogging. That's kind of a no-brainer really. I mean, shove this on the bottom of the GH5 and then point it like that, and then you can kind of do a bit of that, and that seems to work really well. So the second use I've found for it is actually as a mini light stand. Now I'm using my lights at the moment, so I can't show you, but a lot of the LED panels that we have the 1/4 inch tripod thread on the bottom. So it's really useful if I'm doing some product shots on my desk or on a table. Rather than having to lug a light stand or anything, I can literally just set this up, light on top, shine it, and then you've got a pretty good light setup straight away. And this thing, again, holds its position really well. It can easily hold that because these lights don't weigh a huge amount. And yeah, that's been a really useful feature. I also, as a side note, I place a Tascam on this and then sort of set it up in the room for filming weddings or for filming gigs where I need to pick up room audio. So again, things like that, really useful for. So I've had this little phone clamp stand for ages, and I use it a lot for filming little Instagram guitar clips and stuff. Now I could just I've got a phone built-in stand and I can kind of set it up kind of low angle on the table or on the desk, but it doesn't quite look as good. And I kind of, I like good composition. So it's nice to be actually able to position this, this sort of setup on my desk and actually do some sort of little mini guitar videos, and they actually look like I've meant to film them where they're filmed. And this is really useful for not just filming Instagram stuff, but also, if I'm learning a new guitar part, or if I just need to kind of, do a quick video to someone, then this is a good setup. So there are a couple of bad points, but there's only two, and they're more nitpicks than anything else. The first one really is a nitpick, and that is, it would be nice if there was some kind of quick release mechanism. Now you can kind of get around this by just attaching like a 323 plate to the top of it, but then again it would compromise the portability of it and the kind of small package. And then the other point, and this is my only actual gripe with it, like proper gripe, and it's resetting it to like a central point. It'd be nice if there was some kind of mechanism to kind of have it reset so it's perfectly kind of level. That's the only thing I don't like, but again, it's, considering everything else is so good and so well built, it's not really much of a problem. It's just kind of like, if they were to do that, I would be rather interested in upgrading, just so I had something that kind of just pinged to like its sort of default position. So those are my thoughts on this little thing. It is fantastic. It's really affordable. I think they're like 20 quid on Amazon. I think the Evo is maybe 35, something like that. It's so useful. I definitely recommend anyone get one who does any kind of camera-based stuff, or even just wants some kind of desk solution for like a phone or something. This is a good solution, and Manfrotto is a very good brand. So that's my thoughts. That's what I had to say about it, and yeah.
Anyways, so as you can tell, we here at Phase Drive have quite a lot of positives to say about the Pixie Pod. Now obviously the Pixie Pod isn't our go-to for any kind of stable shots because we have these giant Manfrotto tripods which are excellent, but in the situations where we need something small or we haven't got enough room for a tripod, Pixie Pod is where it's at. But that'll do it from all of us here at Phase Drive today. If you have any opinions on the Pixie Pod or Manfrotto, or know about any tripods that you think we should check out, do let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear about it. But other than that, do remember to like, subscribe and all that good stuff. You know the drill by now, and I will catch you in the next one. I need to have this in my hand, because otherwise I'm going to have to be like, where is it? Oh. Action. I don't do that, but I felt like it. Only one way to find out, that's to do it, baby.
Spread the legs. Spread the legs. For God's sake.